You read the title, and no, I am not joking. I actually haven't been playing Grand Cross that much. So I've been logging in every day. I've been getting the tickets and everything. I just haven't really been playing because one, Bleach Mirrors High had their closed beta, and honestly, I really was focused on the other channel. I wasn't really playing much of Grand Cross because of that. That was the main reason. I just wanted to really get the ground running on the second channel, and it's been doing pretty good, so I'm glad about that. But another reason is because there's just really been nothing going on with Grand Cross. I'm not forcing content down your guys' throat. If there's nothing going on, then I just simply won't be uploading. But, you know, I do want to give you guys content somehow, some way. So we're just gonna go through this and doing dailies and everything like that, and you know, just kind of going through the Grand Cross mojo and explaining some of the controversy and my thoughts on everything, because I feel like I haven't really been able to do that since this whole thing happened. I think that Grand Cross, again, is a good game. I will always say that. I really do think that Grand Cross is a genuinely fun game. I think Netmarble just needs to lock in and go back to their roots and kind of just remember that Grand Cross was their start of pretty much their start of the modern era. When I say that, I mean like 2020 gacha gaming. It really did jumpstart the company, right? Because we had pretty much not a lot of mobile games, and Seven Deadly Sins didn't have anything. Like, legitimately, Seven Deadly Sins had nothing. I think they had one gacha game beforehand, and that's it. Otherwise, literally, like nothing. They had nothing. So it's kind of crazy that they neglected Grand Cross the way they have. It's not that it's been bad all around. However, it's like certain things they do, it's so easy to make, like, just make it a fun game, make the problems that we have now disappear. Like the rates, they could easily up that to, and they have shown they can just up the rates to 7%. So I'm not understanding exactly the reason for 3% rates in 2026. I can't defend that. Not that I want to defend that, but I can't really in my head give you guys a good reason to why that's happening. The other thing I can say is that with the rated up characters, they should just keep it at a 0.5% for everything. I understand. I get it. I understand. They try and equal it out. So they want to make it a 1% chance to, well, I lied to you. I lied to you. Basically what they want to do is they want to make it to where you have, you know, like, because Meliodas and Bond, the girl versions, they're rated up at a 0.25%. So together they're at 0.5% pool rate. That's what their version of like a 0.5% would be for multiple characters, right? If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that the right way, but if you've been around long enough, you kind of get what I mean. So 0.5% in total to pull another Meliodas, another Bond, where they could have just made it to where they're both 0.5%, and now you have a 1% chance in total at actually pulling both units, right? Instead of it being 0.5% to pull both units in total, it would just be 1% chance to pull them both, right? If you guys get what I'm saying, it's a little hard to explain rates and everything like that, but if you've been playing gachas for long enough, you'll understand. So it's honestly mind-boggling that we still have these issues in 2026. Such an easy fix, right? For example, we had the quick exchange for King. That update, I made a video on that, and it, for me, it blew up, right? It got so much attention because a lot of people want change like that. And Netmarble, I feel like Netmarble sometimes, they just are oblivious. I don't know if it's, you know, willful ignorance, or if it's just that they're quite honestly oblivious to everything going on. But sometimes I just feel like Netmarble makes such dumb decisions and, you know, mistakes that if they just legitimately locked in and thought about it with some common sense, things in the game would be a lot better, right? It would just be a lot better. The co-op system is one of those things where, again, if they just locked in, went back to their roots, we genuinely would not be having, many of these issues with co-op or demon mats getting demon raids because of the fact that people don't accept invites. They don't invite people because they can just win every single demon raid by themselves. So that is a genuine problem. And Netmarble, I feel like they don't really grasp that because, again, they've set themselves up for failure. It wasn't us that did this. Netmarble set themselves up for failure when it comes to actually giving us rewards and giving us good rates and everything like that. They set themselves up for failure, right? Because for the demon raid specifically, you do need to get the materials. So I guess at this point, I mean, to be fair, at this point, a lot of units do just absolutely crush demon raids. So maybe their thought process is they shouldn't touch it because of that, but that's a terrible way to go about things just in general. So I do feel like Netmarble, again, they just have to use common sense and be like, listen, maybe we should update the invitation system, the co-op system, the demon raids, demon mats, make a new difficulty for it, blah blah blah. I feel like if they just, again, use their common sense, we wouldn't be having these issues, right? We for sure wouldn't be having these issues. But yeah, Netmarble definitely does need to do a self-reflection and kind of remember that this game exists. I know a lot of people say, Origins and everything like that. I do secretly hate Origins, not like a hatred like, oh, I wish that game never existed, but I do kind of wish that Origins was announced maybe later on in Grand Cross's life cycle. Because what was it, a year in and Origins was announced? So they took the team that was working on Grand Cross and they split it for some reason. I don't understand why, but they did. And after that happened, I feel like we weren't actually able to recover from that. I do feel like once that shift happened, a consequence of us actually getting Origins and the team split up is the fact that Grand Cross suffered from it, right? It definitely suffered from it. But yeah, if they just lock in and they give us quality of life updates that we actually asked for and not some minuscule dumb thing that no one really cares about, we'll be looking good. They have a lot of work to do. I mean, they gave us the compensation for, I guess, how the cross if celebration was handled, which I do like. I like that they did that because it shows they are definitely tapped in, right? I think they're more tapped in than a lot of people really give them credit for. They just kind of act like they're not. So this is a really good example of how they are listening. They're just not showing it to our face because they gave us the compensation. I guarantee you, if it got to the point where we were boycotting, the game, review bombing them, like they would have made a whole dev notes. I'm pretty sure that's what would have happened. And I think they really do need to address another Meliodas situation because it wasn't fair. Again, till this day, I don't think they did it intentionally. I still don't think they did it intentionally, where it was like, okay, now guess what? We do a switch and, Meliodas' passive is actually not that great. I don't think they did that. I genuinely think that they meant for the passive to work the way it does. It's just they didn't proofread, they didn't QC the final release of the update notice, and as a consequence of that, people unfortunately got bamboozled by them, and the fact that they didn't fix it until later on in the day, and then they also didn't address it on social media. I don't understand even the thought process of not addressing it on social media and a dev notes. The compensation was nice, right? They gave us the compensation. Do I still have it? I don't think because I claimed it. I might not have it, but yeah, they gave us the, you know, the compensation. I still have the box, so we can just go there, right? They gave us this box, which is good. It's a good start. Where is it this? Yeah, it's this. So they gave us this, right, which is really good. I'm gonna do a video on this as well. I think this is a good start. Is it a fix? Absolutely not. It's not a fix. Again, it's just compensation. I genuinely, after really looking at this, and I understand that Netmarble needs, you know, I say needs, but they want the money. They want people to actually spend. So I get it from a business aspect. However, I really do think they should have just gave all of this for free. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I've had time to really digest what happened, the compensation they gave us. I don't really think there's a reason why they couldn't have just given all of this for free. Again, that might be unrealistic or maybe asking for too much. I don't think it is. Like, the more I think about it, I don't think it is, because 100 diamonds, sure, that is 100 diamonds, but it's not even enough to get you more than 3 multis, right? So let's start there. You think about it, even in a cosmetic shop, you're only going to be able to get 3 cosmetics because it's going to cost 90 diamonds. What is 100 diamonds realistically going to do? I mean, maybe if you're on the second rotation and you need 100 diamonds specifically or close to that, okay, yeah, it'll push you to pity, but who cares? Like, who cares? Who gives a shit? You got, like, Netmarble, you did this, right? You made it that way units needed to be dupe dependent, and people need dupes. They need dupes of the character. So who cares if they have 100 diamonds and it pushes them to pity? Who cares? And the legendary seals are the same way. We have a ton of LR units. It's not like giving 100 legendary seals is like, oh my god, that just gave them half of the LR units in the game. Like, it's 1 unit. And then on top of that, you need legendary seals to do True Awakening. So I just don't really see how anyone could justify them not giving us all of these rewards. If you're looking at it strictly from a business aspect, and, you know, they might lose out on a ton of money, I guess, yeah, sure, maybe I'll give you that point. But that's really the only point you can make. The other points is like, you know, you guys did this as a byproduct of being negligent to the community, as a byproduct of making people have to summon for multiple copies, banner after banner after banner. You guys did this. So don't blame the community, right? Anyway, I went on a side tangent there. I just personally think that the whole thing is dumb that it even got this far. And it really does show that Netmarble has a problem when it comes to being too complacent in just like what they're doing. Because if they really cared about the community as much as, you know, they make it seem, then we wouldn't have half of these issues. Like, if we're just being real, we wouldn't have even, again, half of the issues that we are having. So I think that Netmarble, again, they do have a good foundation on Grand Cross, and I don't want them to run it into the ground. And I know, guys, people aren't really going to be paying much attention to me because Grand Cross is dying. I don't care about that. I genuinely don't care about that. I just want the game to succeed. So even though this video is not going to get a lot of traction, I do hope that, you know, with time, Netmarble does make some good changes to the game, because it's not hard to make good changes, and while at the same time not hurting, you know, the business's bank, if that makes sense. So I do hope that they don't do that. I do hope that they just decide, hey, you know, let's make some good changes for the rest of 2026 into 2027. Let's do the thing. We had a good 7th anniversary. Let's keep it going. So we'll see what Netmarble does. But yeah, this was pretty much just me talking about the whole thing and my opinions on it. I do think that overall, it was a good thing the community spoke up, right? It definitely was a good thing that they spoke up. Netmarble will continue to listen, hopefully, throughout the rest of this year into 2027. But only time will tell, and we'll have to see if their actions really mean anything. But yeah, guys, this will be your boy Dev signing out. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I hope you all have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day.